Thunderworks offers several intakes for the Thunderstroke 111 engines on the new Indian bikes, such as the Roadmaster, the Springfield, and the Chief and the Chieftain and the Dark Horse. The one offered here is the Thunderworks 3X. First, you remove the stock air cover, which you are not going to use anymore because we're giving you a leather cover to replace it. Remove the cover for the air filter and the stock air filter. Next, you'll remove a special plate that holds the filter in place. Once you get the screws out, it takes a little effort to pull it out. The reason we're removing this filter holder is so you can get access to the open vents on the back of the air intake. This allows hot air to come off the cylinder head and go into the intake, which is the opposite of performance. Thunderworks supplies you with a cover plate to block these open panels and not let hot air come into the intake. Cold air going into your engine gives you better performance because it contains more oxygen molecules. Now also you'll notice this vent here is actually supplying air through the frame of the bike. So that one's fine. But this panel here is letting hot air come right off of the number one cylinder head. Another thing you'll notice, there's a little scoop at the bottom of the air filter. It has nothing to do with the intake. It simply brings air and blows it onto the rear cylinder head with the attempt to cool it. So now you'll see we're installing this cover plate with a tie wrap. This simply blocks that hot air from coming in. Now you put the filter holder bracket back in place, lining up the little pollution control hole with the intake itself sliding through the rubber gasket. It takes a little bit of effort to get it on, and it's easier if you start by putting it over the large hole first. Then secure it with the 3 screws that it originally came with. Thunderworks also supplies you with a genuine K&N air filter, which will go over in the same position as the paper filter, but obviously it gives you a lot better breathing ability. And finally, you'll install the cover plate, which is made of a high-quality, genuine leather. It is preserved and weather-resistant, and it's backed with metal so it will retain its molded shape. You secure it with the 3 screws that are supplied. We are showing you the installation of the tan leather intake cover, but we also make them in black. This approach allows air to come in all around the filter, a lot more air than the stock setup. Approximately 3 times more oxygen can get into your engine with this setup. And as you can see, it's open all the way around. Because the openings sits underneath the gas tank, it is protected from rain.